Now to a follow-up on a story you saw first on 4. Today, the Maryland Legislative Black Caucus toured a graveyard in Prince George's County where hundreds of black youth were once buried, many without markers.
They were buried in a wooded area near a historic juvenile reform and detention center. The facility housed boys who'd gotten in trouble, mostly for minor offenses. News 4's Darcy Spencer has our report.
God of our silent tears.
A somber moment as leaders with Maryland's Legislative Black Caucus toured the site where more than 200 black youth were buried as far back as the 1880s. Through trees and brush, you'll find just a few weather-worn headstones, some graves marked with moss-covered cinder blocks. Delegate Janelle Wilkins, chair of the caucus, said seeing how many boys were discarded without dignity was jarring.
It really just shows the lack of worth and value that were given to young black boys.
The graveyard is at the site of the historic juvenile reform and detention center known as Boys Village in the Cheltenham area of Prince George's County. It was a state-run detention facility established in 1870. Boys ended up here for minor offenses like running away or theft. Hundreds never made it home. While records are sparse, they show many of the boys died from disease or natural causes. But we know at least 2 of them did not.
They had frostbite and their legs were amputated after horrible neglect.
So how many children were buried here? Researchers have been able to determine at least 230, but they believe there are many more. And there's a possibility that there are mass graves here. Some members of the caucus live a few miles from the graveyard, but never even knew it was here. Just feet away, a state veteran cemetery, pristinely maintained.
We look at it in this present day with administration trying to erase history, and we're walking amongst history right now that so many in the community still aren't even aware of.
The purpose of the visit, awareness and action. There are plans to get the graveyard marked, find out who was buried here and how they died. But the caucus wants to take it further, reform, to reduce the number of kids of color charged as adults who end up in state-run facilities.
They weren't even allowed to be children. What are you reforming them to? They were chattel, another form of chattel.
And we thank you for these departed souls, these angels.
A prayer and commitment to right the wrongs of the past. Darcy Spencer, News 4.